This transmission has been titled Cosmic Mission. And we have titled it in such a way because of the powerful state of purpose that such a title elicits in those who receive the title. Because when you think of a mission, you think of a few things. The concept of purpose, there being a design, there being a plan, there being an intelligent guiding force, as well as there being some type of goal, some type of objective, some type of task to complete. So when you hear the term cosmic mission, that sense of purpose and intelligence, as well as the sense of goal and objective, is stimulated within the being. As you know, on Earth, you can align with many different forms of purpose. You can aim to achieve many different types of goals within physical reality. However, despite all of these different possibilities that are available to you, there are a few common denominators that you will be able to perceive with great obviousness as you simply notice the patterns that exist within your own life and within the life of the other members of your society. There are some forms of purpose, there are some forms of goal or objective that are based in what we would describe as lower motivations. These are forms of purpose, these are goals that are set, that are designed to fill a void. They come from a place of lack, they come from a place of sometimes unworthiness. So a person will, in an attempt to compensate, seek out things that on the surface may appear to fill that void. But that void that they feel is not a void that needs to be filled at all. I will say that again, the emptiness that people feel, the void that people feel that cause them to align with a lower purpose or to select lower goals, this void, this emptiness, is actually meant to be meditated upon. The void, as you know, is very similar to your concept of the black hole. Everything gets absorbed into it. And at that center point of the black hole, the nucleus, if you will, you have the idea of ultimate density. This ultimate density within you is the center channel of your energy body. It runs from the root chakra to the crown chakra. And when emptiness and void space is meditated upon, it is as if the entirety of the aura becomes like a black hole. Higher dimensional light, which circulates throughout the universe, is drawn to the gravitational pull of the black hole, and the black hole aura begins to absorb the higher dimensional spiritual energies in through the crown, in through the perineum, and this awakens the center channel. This is the dwelling space of what you might describe as your original spirit. It occupies all of the chakras. It is the center of every center. So the void, the emptiness that people feel, that they sense, and will try to numb out or fill with a lower purpose or lower goal, is actually their invitation to go within themselves and to recognize the inherent completeness that is an intrinsic, unconditional part of their being. You could say it is the primary level of their being, and everything else is just a story written on top of that. So when we talk about purpose, when we talk about goals, and when we talk about the cosmic mission, we are talking about pursuing a purpose, or rather embodying a purpose, that is derived from your original spiritual nature and essence, which is completeness, which is blissfulness, and which is also supreme intelligence. When you think of yourself and your purpose in life, you can think of yourself as one human being whom is a part of a society and is here to perhaps make an impact, or perhaps is here to leave the place better than how they found it. And you will find that through that focus, very positive choices can be made. Very powerful frequencies of purpose can be channeled through you, and very pleasant goals and experiences can be realized. Now, you can also perform what we have described as the zoom out method. Instead of seeing yourself as just a person in a body, begin to sense that you are your whole community. And as your sense of nervous system increases to include those in your community, then from that zoomed out view, begin to entertain a higher purpose. Remember, if you use a higher vantage point, you will see from a higher perspective, and if you contemplate your purpose, you will perceive your higher purpose. Zoom out from the community, see your whole country, and now contemplate the same idea, the cosmic mission, the cosmic purpose. Zoom out even more, see the whole of the earth, the entirety of your planet. And from here, contemplate purpose. You are going to find that when you zoom out beyond the little self and contemplate your purpose, your spiritual mission, if you will, from these different perspectives, you're going to learn a lot about yourself, and you're also going to see how you can embody that purpose more consistently in your life. Because remember, the purpose is not something you necessarily have to invent or make up. It's built into you. When we talk about you possessing all of the archetypes of the source, when we talk about you being a holographic fractal of the all that is, we are specifically talking about your inherent multidimensional completeness. All energies that are needed are contained within you. That is the magic of the human form. That is the magic of the human body. Not all species possess that unique design that you describe as the Adamic design. Remember that your species was created to embody the fullness of the heavens as well as the earth, so you could truly operate as those middle world avatars that assist the higher spiritual intelligences in having physical anchors so they can operate within physical reality. In other words, your fundamental purpose is to be a channel for your higher self. That's more or less what I have said right there. And that is the specific design for human beings. That is across the board. So, this higher form of purpose, which is to be an avatar, a channel for your higher self, is a purpose that will eternally nourish you. And it will align you with the people, the places, the things, the synchronicities that are required for that purpose to realize the various goals that are connected to it. Because every purpose will have goals, whether you know them or not, whether they're conscious to you or unconscious to you. Because it is a part of a mission. So, I say this to you because there are opportunities for you to act upon this higher purpose, even when you appear to be doing the most base of physical things. Remember, true spirituality is the yoga, it is the merging, it is the marrying of that which is higher with that which is lower. So how do you do that in a practical way in your earth experience? By recognizing to the best of your ability at all times that you are in a lattice of light that is projecting a densified version of reality that you describe as Earth. But you're in a vibrating lattice or matrix of light. Just knowing this can allow for you to transcend the usual limits of the five senses. Because once you start to meditate upon the underlying structure, your nervous system resonates with that structure. Once your nervous system and the underlying structure of reality resonate, you can then impress upon that structure from your heart center the prayers, the messages, the affirmations, the energy requests that you would like to come or have come to fruition. Think of those as the goals. Let's create more love. Let's create more enjoyment. Let's create more peace. Let's create more fun. These can be your goals, especially if your purpose is to reveal the new earth. Because as you know, the old earth crumbles through the power of revelation. This is disclosure. This is the revealing of the shadow. It is the revelation that causes the diminishment of the old system. It is the positive, it is the love, it is the enjoyment that reveals the pathways to that new system that you are all living representatives of, because that new system is built upon higher purpose, and higher purpose flows through every single one of us. If that were not the case, this conversation would not be happening. This is higher purpose speaking to higher purpose. It is higher intelligence speaking to higher intelligence. And when we are in the bubble reality, we collectively all embody that quality. That is the supreme intelligence, the enjoyment, the blissfulness, the love, the compassion that is naturally embodied through our collective state. And even when these conversations seem to end and we all go our separate ways, remember, the bubble reality still remains. It's not as if it's following you around all the time, but you're able to tune into it whenever needed. And this can allow for you to access a telepathic connection with me, as well as the other extraterrestrial guides that I oftentimes will co-create with.